Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel, and today we're looking at a new release, and that is by Mickael, Chatelain and Gimmick Magic, and that is LinkCard. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at LinkCard by Mickael Chatelain, a linking card effect that's really cool and one that's got a lot of people talking. So let's roll the intro and get straight into the review. Perfect. So you decided to stick around, which means you want to learn more about LinkCard. So what is LinkCard? LinkCard is essentially a linking card effect. That's pretty much what it is. You take one card and another and you link them together. So while I talk about it, I'll put a performance video of it either up here or up here in the screen for you to be able to see. But essentially, you just show a blue card, you show a red card, you then take the blue card, you place it on the red, you snap your fingers, you open up, you show it's linked, you can kind of twist and show that it's linked, you then open it up to show that it's going through, and then you can visually remove it, hand it out to the spectator, show the second card and hand it out. That's pretty much what the routine is. So knowing that, where do you buy this, how much does it cost, and what do you get? So you can buy this pretty much at any magic store. I found mine at ALAKAZAM, but you can buy yours from wherever you want. It is readily available and it costs $29.99 USD, which is around 40-ish Canadian dollars. So what you get is a small envelope. The envelope is upstairs, but you get it in either red or blue. And then you get this small package. Inside of here, you get a few things. Inside of here, one, you get your instructional video link, which is either French or English, and it goes for around 38 minutes, around 40. And he goes over the effect, how it works, what you got, how it works from the spectator's point of view, how it works from your view, and then he also shows you how to build your own gimmick. So yes, he tells you how to build your own gimmick, and that's great because that means that you're not restricted to red and blue bicycle cards. You can make this with bees, you can make this with black cards, you can make this with Madison rounders, you can make this with any deck of cards that you want at home. So that's great. That's, I think, the biggest part of this is that you get everything that you need and all the information to make it at home without many arts and crafts. I think if you can use an exact, not even that, you don't even really need that. If you can just like use some scotch tape, you can pretty much make this at home with his instructions without any issue. So he teaches you all of that. Then you also get two normal cards. They're ungimmicked, a red and a blue one. As I mentioned, ungimmicked, and then you get your gimmick in the color that you chose, either red or blue. You get a gimmick already made for you. So you get a gimmick already made for you, and it's made in bicycle back, and it doesn't use anything special. So it really is made out of bicycle back, which means that it's gonna wear down eventually, which is why he explains to you how to make your own, and everything is included in that package. So before we move on, I do know that some people have stated that this is a bit expensive for what you're getting, and you're not getting much, and most of it is ungimmicked, and even the thing that's gimmicked is something you can make at home. And I understand those concerns, but I think you forget that you're paying for the idea here, and for the fact that if you purchase this, you have it for life, which means that you won't have to ever rebuy the trick, you won't ever have to repurchase refills or repurchase gimmicks because you make them at home, right? So I think that yes, for what you're getting, two ungimmicked cards and a gimmick that takes like 5 minutes to build at home for $30 US or 40 something Canadian is a bit steep, but you are paying for the idea and the fact that you're never gonna have to repay money for a linking card effect because you're gonna have this one. It's super easy to do and you're gonna be able to do it pretty much for the rest of your life if you want, okay? So yes, I do understand that critique, but I feel it's a bit misguided because of the fact that, you know, you buy this and you can just build it for the rest of your life. So having said that small anecdote, let's get into difficulty. How difficult is this to perform? Incredibly easy. I mean, as long as you can open a card and show it and then just place one card on top of the other, that's it. There's basically no moves here. I think the hardest move is just the cleanup at the end, which is so invisible and so well thought out. There's really not many moves. This is super, super easy. There's no switching in, there's no switching out. The cards are as promised in the ad copy. They are inspectable. He gives you ways that you can do this inspectable from the start. So you can literally just remove 2 cards from a deck of cards, hand them to your spectators and tell them, can you fold this in half? And can you rip the middle? The spectator does it for you. And then you just take it and you do the link, unlink, and you hand it immediately back. So there's no lying in the ad copy there whatsoever. It can be done from the start with the spectator doing everything fully inspectable. But the way that I would perform it and the way that even he performs it, he says he just has everything ready to go and he just does it and then he gives the cards out for examination. So difficulty wise, it's super, super easy. Don't worry about that. So really, really easy to do. In terms now, let's go into practicality. So how practical is it? Well, to perform this, you're going to have to carry around your 2 cards and your gimmick. And as you can see, he gives you a small pouch. And this is how I carry mine. I just take these 2 and you can place it in your wallet, in your bag, wherever, and you're good to go. He says he placed it in the case of his cell phone, and that's where he carries around his gimmick. So that's it in terms of carrying capacity, just these 2 cards. If you do want to hand the cards away after every performance, so if you just want to give them out as souvenirs, then you're going to just need to carry around extra cards with you and make the holes in them. But apart from that, everything can just fit in this and you're good to go. In terms of inspectability, as I've mentioned, you can pretty much have it inspected at the start and at the end, depending how you want to do it. Personally, for me, I wouldn't have them inspected at the start, only at the end. It makes everything much easier. So why not do it the easiest way possible? And you can just give it away at the end. So yes, inspectability, it is inspectable. In terms of angles, angles are 180. So no one can be behind you. It's strictly a 180 because if people are behind you, they would see something going on. So you can't really have anyone behind you, but anyone in front of you is fine. You can repeat this, as I mentioned, with different cards at every table if you so wish. You can repeat this whatsoever. Pretty much, there's nothing else to see. In terms also that I mentioned, in terms of reset, if you do give the cards away at the end, you will have to take a few moments to bend the card and rip the thing in the middle, which is going to take maybe 30 seconds, right? But if you don't want to give the cards away at the end, all you do is you take the cards back, you place them in your pouch, and maybe 1 second out of sight, and you're good to go again to perform. So super, super easy in that regard as well with the reset. Having said that, let's jump into where to perform. So where would you perform this? I think this is something that you perform exclusively close up. I don't see this really playing incredibly well on stage or parlor or cabaret, but I think this would work really well for like an Instagram video or a YouTube short or maybe something like a TikTok or a Zoom or anything where it's a casual performance. He says that most of the time he performs this is just while he's in a casual setting, like at a restaurant or at a coffee shop with a friend, and he just wants to show them something quick. So this is not something that necessarily you're gonna go run out to perform. It's something you're just gonna have on you and do. It could be a very nice kind of intro to grab the attention of your spectators, but it is something for close up. So whether it's table hopping, whether it's one-on-ones, whether it's street performances, whether it's something like at a restaurant or a bar, you can do this, but it isn't something for the big stage, right? It isn't something that you're gonna do on the big stage, but it could be. If you know the principle and you buy some jumbo cards, you can make it in with jumbo cards. He doesn't tell you that on the tutorial, but I'm telling it that to you. If you want, you can make this play big as well on stage with some jumbo cards, and it's gonna work pretty well, except for the fact it's not gonna be inspectable. You're not gonna be able to inspect it with jumbo cards, but you could still do the effect. Up to you. But having said that, yeah, I would say this version for close-up, pretty much only. I think that's where it plays best. So, having said all that, what are the positives and negatives of LinkCard? So, let's start with the negatives. One of the negatives is something that he touches upon as well, is that bicycle cards are not made the same, which means that your gimmick may have some visual discrepancies on certain cards because no bicycle deck is the same because of the way they cut it, the way they print it, which means that sometimes the gimmick, I don't want to say too much, won't really blend in 100% into the card. There may be some minute details that if there's a super keen spectator, they may notice that aren't really as they should. But in most cases, it's going to fly by. And if that's the case, just take a few steps back and those problems are covered, okay? So take that in mind as well. So that's probably one of the issues. And another issue that you can possibly have with this is also the fact that, as I mentioned, if you're at a gig and you bend or you drop or you get wet your gimmick, you won't be able to perform it for the rest of the night because it is made just of normal bicycle cards, which means you have to be a bit careful with it. And no matter what, eventually you're gonna have to make a new one because that's just how the quality of the cards go. You're gonna have to build a new one. So you're not gonna buy this and use the gimmick that he gives you for the rest of your life. You're gonna have to make your own eventually. So having said that, what are the positives? One, the tutorial video is great. The effect is relatively quick and visual. The method is super, super simple and practical. Everything is inspectable. The ad copy is 100% true. My bad. I love the fact that it gives you everything that you need to continue building your effects in the future, which means that once you buy this, yes, you could consider the price a bit steep, but you're going to have it for the rest of your life. So having said that, what would I rate LinkCard and what do I give it out of 10 and would I recommend it to you? So would I recommend LinkCard? If you like linking card effects, I think this is a great version of it. I think it's one that doesn't need preparation beforehand. You just have the gimmick and you are ready to go, which is great because most other link cards have either gimmicks that can't be inspected or they require long preparations before the trick and you have to have like 10 gimmicks with you because after every performance the gimmick wears out. So this version solves most of the problems. I think if you like linking cards, this is a great little alternative and I think you're going to enjoy it. However, I do think this is not the best effect out there. It's not an effect that you're going to buy and you're going to be performing 24/7 because it's that good. But I do think it's something that a lot of people could be carrying around with them and present a quick visual moment of magic. But for me, I really like it, but it's not something I'm going to be performing a lot. Maybe I'll just have it with me in my case, and if ever, I'll do it eventually at some point. But it's not something that I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to a gig. I want to make sure to have LinkCard with me, okay? Having said that, I'm going to give it a 7.5 because it is a great effect. It does promise everything that it says in the ad copy. Everything is 100% true. It delivers on all of that and it looks very visual and it's super, super easy to do. So because of all of that, it is a very good effect, but it's not something that personally I'm going to be performing a lot. So because of that, it gets a 7.5. But if I were to perform it a lot and if I would see myself performing it a lot, I would give it much higher. But I do think this, if you like what you saw and you buy this, you're going to get that effect 100%. So that's all I have to say about LinkCard. So thank you so much for watching, liking and subscribing. Leave a comment if you want. If not, I'll see you all in my next video. Have a great one and bye.